Today on the channel from Super 7 in the Ultimate Edition Conan the Barbarian line, we've got Rexor and Thorgrim.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here. Welcome back to the channel for another Super 7 Ultimate Edition Conan the Barbarian unboxing and review. And today, from Conan the Barbarian, we got Rexor and Thorgrim. But for all your Ultimate Edition needs from Super 7 and a whole lot more, make sure you're hitting up Entertainment Earth. Use the link in the description below to save 10% on all in-stock items. And of course, everything over $39 does ship for free. So there you go. Got to get a deal all day long. So today we're back to Super 7 Ultimates in the Conan the Barbarian variety, and I figured we'd do a double up club. Usually we do these by themselves, but we figured these guys go together, old Thorgrim and Rexor, so I thought we'd do them both here in this same video. And we're of course going to do it like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. And of course we'll start off with these outer shell boxes. As you can see right there, very, very cool, very Super 7-esque, I guess. And I always save onto these, as you guys know. Off to the side, see you later, very gentle. Then we got these guys with the slipcase covers. Looks to be the same slipcase cover on both these guys. It is, gotta get the most out of your molds, be it plastic or paper, I guess. So we're gonna pull this off, stick that here, put this one off to the side. Gonna yank this one off, put him off to the side. And we'll take a look at this real quick. Conan the Barbarian. Nice kind of feel to it, like almost like it's a leather book is what it kind of feels like. And of course you got that Conan action right there. So there it is. There's a slip cover. Now let's take a look at each of these guys, and we're going to do both their packagings. I'm going to take it offline, unbox them. We'll be back to the story here. But let's start with Rexor first. Big box, big heavy like figure as well. Extra accessories as usual. Heads, an extra head. No extra hands it doesn't look like though. So well, that's interesting. We got Rexor there. One of the evil minions of Thulsa Doom, of course. The main baddie, James Earl Jones himself. On the back, we got a little bit of a blurb. Let's see what it says about our old buddy Rexor here. Rexor is the high priest of the cult of Set, second only to Thulsa Doom. His large stature and skill in combat instills fear in those who dare to oppose him. As high priest of the cult of Set, Rexor is responsible for supervising rituals and sacrifices. Ah, I love a good sacrifice. Conan, once freed and on his path for vengeance, comes across one of these rituals and is able to interrupt the ceremony, stealing the valuable Eye of the Serpent in the process. Enraged by this, Rexor must now try to hunt down and finish the heroic Conan. So there you go. Very cool Rexor right there. Now we turn it over to Thorgrim. A little bit lighter, of course. They talked about him being bigger. He's a little bit lighter, as we see here. There he is with accessories. No extra hands, doesn't look like, but we do get the extra head. So we get the armored heads and the fair game heads, I guess we'd call it right there. So there it is. And then on the back, we, of course, get the blurb, and we'll read his as well. Let's see what it says about old Thorgrim. What a name, old Thorgrim. Anybody ever met a Thorgrim in real life? I don't know. I don't think I've ever met a Rexor either. Thorgrim is one of Thulsa Doom's major lieutenants and a ferocious warrior on the battlefield. He played a major role in the raid that destroyed Conan's village and took the lives of his parents. With the cult of Set now in power, Thorgrim assists Thulsa Doom with his evil reign. When Conan reaches adulthood and begins his journey for vengeance, Thorgrim and Conan's past cross again when he discovers that the sacred giant serpent has been slain and the Eye of the Serpent has been stolen. Oh, like all of our hearts with this toy line, I think. But let's take this offline. Let me get these two out of the package, and we'll be back talking all things Conan the Barbarian. All right, got him out of the package. Let's kick it off with Rexor. He is the senior man, after all, so we'll start with him. And it looks like he's got an axe and two swords. I wonder if he has an axe to grind with Conan. Let's see what I did there. But we got the big old sword going on here. We got the nice leather handle, nice sculpted throughout here, especially down at the bottom here. Very, very nice. Very strange. Almost looks like two lips down here. What's going on with that? No idea. And then you got antlers down here. This is a big sword. This sword is still very thin. That's one thing I've seen with the Super 7 Ultimates Conan line. The blades are very, very thin. Very thin blades. I feel like they need to be a little thicker and a little harder. There you go. We got nice sculpt throughout. Even some kind of writings, like an ancient writing inside this sword. So there's that sword. Then you get to his other sword here. Once again, a little bit thin, but actually a little thicker than this one, but still on the thin side. Got that kind of gray color where it could be a little bit darker, or more steel gray would be nice. and a gold handle throughout. So you got two different swords for old Rexor. He can throw it around, but I really like this one. Like double-sided axe, I don't even know how to contemplate making this thing. You got two axe sides here, then one axe side there. Choose your own axe adventure, I guess we'd say. You got a nice wooden kind of look through here, and then down to the leather-wrapped handle throughout. Looks really nice, and then the black sculpt breaking up the color. Very, very cool there. Then we do get an extra head, no extra hands with Rexor. And like I said, Rexor is a very heavy figure, and what is heavy about him is his big fur cape. Of course, it is cape season. We're in the thick of it. It seems to be cape season. It used to be just a few months of the year. Now it is year-round, as we know. Thank you, Lando Calrissian, for really bringing that to popularity. But Rexor, big figure. And like I said, the heaviness is definitely the cape on him. That is a heavy cape that is not removable unless you take the head off. You take this head off to replace with this one. You could, it looks like, pull that out. We'll see that in the glamour shots, I'm sure. But he does have his cool armor helmet going on. Big old like horseshoe on the top. That's what it looks like, a horseshoe. But it's really two serpents right there. Of course, he is second in charge, as we know. Rexor, you do see his mustache through, eyes, face. Looks really good for Rexor. One of my favorite characters in the movie, of course, Conan the Barbarian. But Rexor looking good. He's got his long hair going on. Looks like something out of, you know, the Knights of the Old Republic. Or not the Knights of the Old... the Knights of the Round Table. Knights of the Old Republic, isn't that Star Wars? I don't think he looks like Star Wars, but the old days of swinging their axes and things like that and their blades. Definitely looks like he could fit in there at the old Knights of the Round Table. He just got serpents throughout. He got serpents on the forearm here. Hands move side to side. You got the single jointed elbow as we're accustomed to with these. I just chipped off some paint. Just kind of came off there, so that's not good. We never like to see that. What's up with that? I don't see where it came from. Oh, it came from the inside pin joint. So we did lose a little there. We don't like to see that either, of course. But then you get the arms. You are limited with your articulation with the cape on, of course. Makes sense. You do get a little bit of an ab crunch. Really nothing to write home about. You do got a secondary goods belt with serpents all over it that is movable. He does kind of got a skirt type thing going on. Nice rivets, golden rivets throughout against the black and the red. Really does pop. Of course, you get the usual Super 7 splits going on. You do get knees, single jointed knees, and you get ankles side to side. No boot cut or anything like that. So a little bit limited on the articulation spot. That's one thing people really do dog on Super 7 about, as we know. But boy, I do like this Rexor figure. And then we get this extra head here. And it looks really cool. He almost looks like a member of Spinal Tap is what he reminds me of. We got the long, moppy hair going on. And then the big old mustache going there. Looks really good. I got a little bit of a paint smudge on his nose that I can see there. I might have to work on getting that off. You can barely see it. You really got to look for it. But definitely looks good for old Rexor. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day long. Does he stand on a ringside collectible stand? Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. He's a guy that might need a stand, and we use the WWE Mattel stands, as you guys know. He is very top-heavy with that cape, so he could fall over on your display if you are not careful. He definitely leans back with that big, heavy cape. But Rexor, welcome to the party. We'll have you on display before you know it if we can get you to stand up without falling over. So far, working okay. Now we turn our attention to Thorgrim. Yes, Thorgrim, third in command? Sure, why not? But one of the lieutenants of Thulsa Doom, as we heard on the back of the package, and of course saw in the movie. Guy got one of those faces that you just want to punch. And I think he's a fairly famous character actor. I feel like I saw him in different shows and movies over time. Maybe I'm wrong, but he definitely looks good. This figure looks really good. But let's start with the accessories once again. He does come with a big old mallet, like a big old rubber mallet. This almost looks like something out of a cartoon. I can't imagine somebody swinging this in real life. You wouldn't get around very fast with it, I wouldn't think. But it's like a big log on the end, kind of molded in, but you can definitely see the wood grain throughout, the wrapping of the handle, the wooden handle, the leather wrapping. A very cool looking weapon. I don't know how practical this weapon is though, however. So we got that, and then we do get a blade, like, because this time in the world, life, whatever you want to call it, you needed to have blades to defend yourself. That's what you had to have, and I like the look of this one. Once again, a little bit too paper thin, but I like the coloring. This is such a clean gray. This is a silver with a little bit of dirtiness to it, a little bit of a dirty wash. So I do like this blade, how this looks. Of course, the leather handle down below. Two serpents on each side there, looking really good with a ball at the end. So very cool there. Now we turn our attention to Thorgrim. Now he's got some chainmail, I believe that's what it's called, but he looks, once again, like a knight with the round table and all that kind of stuff. He looks really, really good. Looks like he's ready for battle. Give me a horse to put him on, and he'll be off to the races. Almost looks like he has a robot arm, like a Major Blood or something like that, but that is, once again, chainmail covering him up, protecting his body. Got quite the helmet going on here. We got serpents wrapping around, a nice dirty gray wash once again against that red hair. Looks really good. Just a very, very fabulous. And then you get this head. Like I said, he just looks like a guy you just want to punch in the face. He just really does. But he looks like a guy from Spinal Tap too. But very cool. You can pop the heads off and choose your own head adventure, which you want with these Super 7 figures. But very cool. I like the heads on these. Articulation going to be the same as Rexor, but you do get more mobility on the arms, of course. Nothing blocking your way. But really, really good covering here. Looks good throughout. Does have a belt that swings through just like Rexor has as well. Hands, of course, side to side, back and forth, all that fun stuff, all the articulation we saw before. This is a little interesting. You do the splits, and you got a little skin showing through in the legs. That is interesting. I don't know what's up with that. He's got like splits in his legs, in his jeans or pants, whatever we're going to call them. So that does look a little bit strange. He just got furry boots, of course. Got to keep yourself warm in those cold winter months, especially if you're a serpent. But very, very good looking figure here. Definitely cool enough weapons. Even if they aren't practical, they do look really cool. And these guys, quite the formidable duo, as we know. Does he fit on a ringside stand? The WWE ones, of course. And yes, he does. Kinda. There we go. He fits. He fits on the stand. Thorgrim and Rexor fit really good, look really good. These are probably two of my favorites from the entire line. These do look really, really good. And I can see people mixing these in with their Lord of the Rings figures or Game of Thrones figures, things like that. They look like they would be at home in something like that. But man, they're at home in my collection. These guys look really good. Of course, we did unbox Conan. You kind of see Conan against these guys. Obviously, Conan's got no protection. He's just bare-chested, ready to go. These guys are loaded to the gills, so you better watch out. But Conan, we saw how the movie turned out. We all saw. We know what happened. But what happened with you guys? Did you pick these guys up? Did you pass? Did you even know they existed? Any thoughts on these two from the Conan the Barbarian Super 7 Ultimates line? If so, let me know in the comments down below. And of course, you made it this far. You might as well like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the old notification bell as we're unboxing tons of different Super 7 Ultimates here on the channel, among many other things. Also, you can follow along on social media at SirPaul64 on Twitter, Instagram, _Kyle_Peterson, ProWrestlingTees.com, one of the great ways to support the channel, pick up a t-shirt. But your best way to support the channel is over there at Patreon, where you get videos like this much, much earlier than traditional YouTube. Bonus content, exclusive content, a lot to like, a lot to see over there on the YouTube channel, or I should say on the Patreon channel. And best of all, you do support the channel via the Patreon. So there it is, Thorgrim and Rexor. I'm Kyle, and I will see you guys all real soon.